Okay, in this tutorial, I'm going to talk about spatial join and give you an example of how to use it. And hopefully after seeing this, you'll understand why it's probably, for spatial analyses, one of the most important tools you can have at your disposal. What spatial join allows you to do is to count a number of events or features within a defined geographic area. And that's really useful when you're trying to look at trends, trying to understand where things are really occurring. It's not a heat map. That's not the intent of it. It really allows us to quantify the number of events as opposed to some sort of qualitative approach to that. So in this example, you can see I've created a new map. I've zoomed in primarily to the United Kingdom, along with Ireland, and then here's mainland Europe over here. And England and Wales and the United Kingdom is divided into counties. So I've gone out to the Office of National Statistics. I've downloaded what appears to be the 1981 boundaries for these counties, and I ended up with those for England and Wales right here. What I've also done is gone out to, let's see, this is the historic England Open Data Hub, and grabbed the shapefile for listed buildings. So listed buildings, for those that don't know, and you can see there's gobs of them. I think this contains over 300,000 records. These are buildings that merit some kind of protection because of their architectural or historic significance. So of course, England, being a very old country, contains a lot of buildings that merit preservation. And you can see it's been fairly ambitious in being in collecting the data where these buildings are at, because they do have special protection, special development rules, things like that go along with it. So what I'm interested in here is determining the number of events within the county. And the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this symbology to just an outline. You can kind of see behind. I'm also going to turn off these base maps, get a little bit clearer picture of what's going on. And there's a lot. There's enough here that I couldn't just go in and count the number. I could, but that would be an arduous task and not one that really anyone would want to do. And so what I want to do is use spatial join to count the number of instances that fall within each of these counties. Now you notice the data set is constrained to just the counties in England, and it does not look like they go over or intersect with anything in Wales. So the first thing I need to do is remove these counties. I don't have to. These counties would show up with a 0 count, but just to kind of clean up the data I'm starting with, I'm going to remove those counties. Now, a definition query is not the appropriate way to tackle that. That data still exists within there. So really what I need to do is build a new data set of just the counties in England. So I'm going to do that through a select. I'm going to go up here and go to map, and I'm going to do a select by attributes. Give a second for the tool to load. Obviously, I haven't ran this tool for a minute because it's taking its time to load on here. Basically, what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take the initial counties here, do new selection, and I am most curious in, boy, let's see, I don't remember which field that is, so I'm just going to leave that there for a second. I have to close that. I'm going to go in to the attribute table. I could just click on this as well. I'm looking at this, it's country 81 NM. That's what I need. So I'm looking for anything that's defined as not Wales, which would be England in that case. So I'm going to go up here to select by attributes again, new selection, country CTRY81NM, and I'm going to do is not equal to Wales. I could do is equal to England. It works the same. I'm going to apply that. And all the counties in England will be selected. It's going to take a minute to do that. What I'm going to do then is just basically make a copy from those selected features. I'm going to pause the video here while I let that tool run. All right, literally the second I click that, it finished. And I'm going to hit OK. You can see now I've got all those counties selected. I'm actually going to turn off this listed buildings for just a minute so I can see a little bit clearer what's going on. But I've got the selection I need. I'm going to right-click on this counties 1981. I'm going to go down here to Data, Export Features, and I'm going to create a new feature here. I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to call this England Counties, one word. And you can see there's 47 that are included on there. I was thinking there was 48, but we'll go with 47. That's what it says. So anything not Wales, 47. That's finished. You notice it doesn't look any different. First thing I want to do is clear my selection, and then I'm going to turn off the original counties, and now you can see my England counties are by themselves. So now I've got that by itself. Now the next thing I'm going to do is do a spatial join. And that's going to be in my toolbox. So under Analysis, Tools, you can see I've already queried it here, Spatial Join, and I'm going to find that down here. And this is where people can get a little bit tripped up. What's my target feature? What's my join feature? Really the easiest way to consider this, if this was a target that we're aiming at, right, and we're hitting it with something, whatever that might be, right, making these holes in it, that the target is the larger of the two, and the join feature are going to be the features within it. Okay, so just try to keep that straight. Usually the bigger of the group will be the target, not always, but in this case and in most cases that's probably going to be what's going to happen. So I'm going to go back over here. Target feature is my England counties. My join features in this case is going to be the listed building points. Okay, so get those straight, which is which. The help is not much help here, which one's which. You really have to kind of pick through it, and if it doesn't work one way, try it another way. Okay, the output here, I'm just going to call listed by county, and I'm going to use this one-to-one, keep the default here. Intersect means that if it touches or intersects with the polygons of these counties, it's going to count it. So if you're doing this with something like a polyline or a polygon, and let's say you had a listed feature that crossed two counties, it would count it in each of those. So intersect to me is usually a good way to start. Verify the data in an area that you can verify it in to make sure it works. You can see there's like contains, intersects 3D if you've got that within a distance. So if you need to, include kind of a buffer around that, anything like that. And there's features on here I really don't know how to use, because honestly, for most straightforward spatial analyses, an intersect is probably going to work for you. Okay, and once I've got that, I need to get rid of that ribbon on the bottom of my screen. You can see the run down there. Okay, so I've got everything set here. I'm ready to run it, so I'm going to sneak down here. I'm going to hit that run. This is a fairly big data set, so it could take a minute to run this. If it gets too long, I'll clip that out of this video. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and pause it. Okay, it's completed now, so as soon as I think it's going to take a long time, it doesn't. So this could take a long time depending on the size of your data sets. This seemed to work just fine. You can see I've got the check mark down there. I'm in good shape. So now I'm going to turn off this list of building points again. I'm going to turn off my England counties. You notice it looks the same. Because what it's done is it's created a copy of that, and then it's counted the number of instances, in this case of the listed buildings within that. So if I click on one of these, you're going to see now I have a join count filled in here, which is the number of, in this case, listed buildings that intersect with the county of Cheshire in this case. And if you right click and go into the attribute table, okay, so now that I've got this open, the attribute table open, you can see that there's the join count along with the county name. Okay, so West Midlands has 3,233. West Yorkshire has 10,537. I'm not exactly sure how those boundaries work, so I apologize if I'm doing that incorrectly. The nice thing about that, once I've got it, especially where we've got 47 individual polygons here, it's really handy if I go into my symbology and then go to a quantitative symbology and do a graduated colors. I'm just going to stick with the natural breaks here. Then you can see which parts of England, in this case, have the highest listed buildings, and you can see, well, down here in the south, there seems to be more than some of these counties up north. And of course, you can change the gradient on there. You can change the method and whatnot. Display it however you see fit. So that's the basic idea behind spatial join, and you can see it's super handy to get an actual quantitative amount of features that occur within a geographic area or geographic boundary, or if you've got events that have happened across time, this is a good place to use it. So hope you found that helpful.